At the outset, I thank the organizer for adjusting my paper in the online mode. I couldn't come because of some unavoidable circumstances. My paper title is Aging, Occupation and Gender in Migration, the Case of Indian Migration to Europe. I am Sadanand Sahu, Associate Professor at the School of Interdisciplinary and Transdisciplinary Studies, Indira Gandhi National Open University, Delhi, India. As I mentioned, this is a very important topic in the contemporary time because we all witness lots of challenges for migrants across the globe, in USA, in many European countries, especially when we think the student migration, the challenges are again more. I contextualize this paper, in the context of global south and global north, how the demographic imbalance, especially aging, is impacting the migration, and how this is very critical area to discuss in the context of supply and demand of migrant, student, or whatever in the context of aging. Aging population in many parts of Europe has already exerted significant impact on social, political, economic landscape. It is already impacting the labor markets, public debt, and sustainability of welfare system that is prevalent in many European countries. My paper will relate to aging and its vis-a-vis student migration and especially women migration to three major European countries, UK, Netherlands, and Germany. These are the three major destination countries. The median age of these three countries are above 40, and the aging process is also there, and in future it may intensify. The primary objective of this paper is to investigate the policy challenges and also to see how independent female migrants to these European countries are, context of migration governance is very important. It posits that independent female migration from India is relatively a recent phenomenon, which is around 1 to 2 decades, but recently it has gone up. Though the Common Agenda on Migration and Mobility was endorsed at the EU-India Summit in 2016, there are many more gender-specific areas that need further attention with regards to reskilling to integration of return migrant. The outline of my presentation is like that. I'll have introduction where I, link aging, occupation, gender migration, migration of female from India, then policy challenges. Europe's aging challenges is a known fact. On January 1st, 2024, the EU population was estimated at 449.3 million people, and more than one-fifth, which is 21.6% of it, was aged 65 years and over. And the same year, the median age of the EU population is 44.7 years. Between 2014 to 2024, the median age increased in all EU members except Malta and Germany, where it decreased 0.7 and 0.1 year respectively. This is from Eurostat 2025. Europe's aging challenge also, you can see in terms of fertility, where the number of younger group decrease in relation to older age groups. That is UN data 2017. Europe's fertility rate is below replacement level also. And mortality, if we talk mortality also, the people in many European countries, due to good health care and other support service, the age is also not that much problem. People are living longer and healthy also. However, there are issues like, to provide them healthcare, you need workforce, younger workforce, especially in healthcare, and migration can actually create a safety valve. And if we see aging also impact economy and also occupation, because aging workforce, if they're aged, they cannot participate in some kinds of occupation which requires longer hours, hard physical, work, Liu and his colleague have made a study in 2023 in China where they found there are adverse impact on aging on economy and recommended for fertility policy to include social security, housing, and construction of medical care system for women. And in fact, mm, in China, it is a fact that the government is now promoting fertility and supporting the old age people so that they can bring productivity. Whereas in other studies in Europe and other places where aging it doesn't make much difference if condition that if they are given good health. Therefore, to keep the aging population fit, we also need healthcare system, better healthcare system. However, there is a catch. To provide better healthcare system, you also need manpower. It is estimated that 6 million nurses and midwives in the WHO European region are inadequate to meet the current and projected future needs because aging population also need healthcare to remain fit. In several of the EU countries, expected shortage due to two factors. One is their own aging workforce also aging, and also there is huge proportion of workers will retire very soon. This is study by Cadot and others. When you compare with the global south, especially India, you see a median age is very, 28 point something, and it has a huge number of migrant stock, 18.5 million international migrant, which is from migration data portal 2024, and number of them they go to especially to UK, which is 64.54% in Netherlands, then Italy, then Germany, France, all these countries. So because of high population, lack of proper employment and other issues, many people also go. And there are also other challenges like student migration from India, which large proportionate them are increasingly female. When in 2025, writes that number of Indian students studying abroad has reached a massive 1.8 million 2025, and this actually large number of them they go to Canada followed by USA, UK, Australia, and Germany. Packer in another study 2025 adding that with the policy turmoil in receiving countries, especially you have seen in Canada, UK, and UK, large and all three are English speaking countries. Now students are changing the destination to other area to find a safe place. And if we see the composition of student migration, women students are going abroad also on rise. From 2019 to 2023, the proportion of female students going abroad rose from 36 to 40%, which further increased to 41% in 2024. It is from the Times of India report. The women age group showing the most interest in studying abroad aligned with the overall trend. This increased further in 2024, as I mentioned. This is because of the rise of middle class and financing opportunities by banking and other for higher education abroad. So all this facilitated more number of students and especially female going other countries. And one of the attractions which work as pull factor is STEM areas, and because the higher education is not in very good shape in India, and most of the countries like UK, USA, Germany, Canada, they spend more money on research and development, and especially in STEM, which is called science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So many students go there, especially from India. 70% of the total number of students are in STEM area. In addition to that, there are areas like artificial intelligence, robotics, and cyber security, which are also gaining demand among students. However, there are challenges, as I mentioned earlier. In UK, the new rules in 2024 restricts foreign students from bringing dependent. So that also create barrier, because if student go with family and others, they can actually manage their finance and other social things better. Sasi in 2025 course, the UK Home Office, which reported an 84% drop in independent visa application, and overall study visa for Indian fell by 26%. So because of this policy challenge, many students have dropped going to USA, and they have gone to other countries. Germany, though it is one of the favorite destination, it is still one welcoming destination. The Comprehensive Migration and Mobility Partnership (MMPA) agreement between India and Germany signed in December 2022 includes provision to facilitate mobility for students, including extended resident permit for up to 18 months for professional experience after completing academic and vocational training in Germany. This is very important because in many countries, USA especially UK, they don't give now extended visa, which is also very important for students to search for better job post-study. So once they come back to India, this will be very challenging for them to adjust and integrate. And also Netherlands is another destination which I didn't mention here. Then you talk about major destination after Canada, USA, UK, and Australia, that is Germany, Ireland, France, Italy, Sweden. Okay, these are the major destination. Netherlands is a major destination for working class people like nurses and all. When we talk about global talent pool, China holds huge number because it has lots of youth population, followed by India, then USA, Brazil, Indonesia. So these are, if we see the future, now lots of young people, 25 to 35, 4 years old, are in these countries who can contribute to global talent pools in the form of student, professionals, etc. Now, my last concluding part, I'll be talking about policy challenges. There are a number of countries which has policy issues now, USA, UK, Canada, and many other countries also frequently change the policies which impact the migration. Like UK, as I mentioned, the policy to not to take dependent also impact the student. Outflow from India to UK, and then that also impact the economic and other opportunities in future. There are cultural and other challenges which need to be uh, taken into account, because many new destinations, as I mentioned, not English-speaking countries in Europe like Netherlands and Germany, they need different kind of orientation culturally, linguistically, and social also. As we have seen, independent women care workers, in addition to students, are going, they need specific support service, because these are men, family breadwinner also, and also independent female is a kind of new experience for Indian migrant. Then the another component is many of these countries, as they are not giving visa extension, citizenship, and other, many of them eventually will come back to India. That's why return and integration back home also a big challenge in terms of job market, integration to society, family, and all this. Then there is also a requirement for, in fact, when female people are going, they should not be subject to exploitation and human trafficking. That's why there is a need for better coordinated approach for recruitment in various sectors, and there is a need for integrated labor market information system to provide a labor database and job matching system. Sometimes you have seen mismatching of job, people having engineering degree and driving, taxi, and so many, mismatch happening, which also is a matter of concern. Then there is a requirement of greater interaction between recruitment and placement agency, formal collaboration, implementation of globally acceptable standards. These are very important in the context of migration governance, making migration safe and better for both migrant and sending countries and receiving countries. Thank you. I'll conclude here. And these are my references. And you can have any question, you can post it in the internet.